You've been told you're cold, that you seem like someone without feelings. But here's what they don't understand. It's not coldness, it's survival. When you've suffered deeply, your brain learns one rule: stay ready. And the wild part? You do it even when everything is fine. Your body anticipates, your mind calculates, your heart doesn't trust. Today I'm showing you 10 odd habits of people who've been through too much. Stay until number 1. Almost no one talks about that one, and it's the most revealing of all. Before we begin, if you want to understand the mysteries of your own mind, subscribe right now and join me on this journey. Let's get started. Let's start with number 10. You are an expert at detecting exits. At restaurants, in meetings, even at friends' homes, you're always trying to control your surroundings and watch your back. This is hypervigilance. Your system is constantly scanning for threats. Who came in? Who raised their voice? For others, it's a doorway. For you, it's your escape route. It's not paranoia. It's a radar that saved your life. The problem is, your nervous system doesn't know the war is over. If you find yourself tense, try this. Intentionally lower your shoulders, feel your feet firmly on the ground, and exhale very slowly, as if you were trying to blow out a candle without blowing it out forcefully. Your primitive brain understands body language better than words of calm. We now come to number 9. You always have a plan B, C, and D. If you're invited to a casual party, your mind has already run through every possible disaster. What if things go wrong? What if I can't escape? What if I'm stuck with no resources? This is why you double check. Did I lock the door? Do I have my keys? Did I turn off the gas? Do I have credit on my phone? What's the exact route on the map? It might seem like you're overthinking, but it's actually a preventative measure against pain. Your brain learned the hard way that the unexpected tends to hurt, so it runs risk simulations to minimize the damage. Imagine it like a phone with 40 apps open at the same time. You're not being dramatic. Your processor is overheating from analyzing so many scenarios, and that's why you end up exhausted even if you haven't done anything physically. Here's the shift. Choose one realistic backup plan. It's just one. The rest isn't preparation, it's torture. We've reached number 8. You apologize for simply existing. Sorry for asking, sorry for being late, sorry for breathing, for existing, for taking up space. This happens because you learn that making mistakes comes at a high price, whether it's shouting or hurtful silence. Your mind anticipates and begs for mercy before the attack as a survival strategy. That's why you give too many explanations and diminish yourself. A powerful reprogramming technique is to replace the word sorry with thank you. Instead of saying sorry for being late, say thank you for waiting for me. Instead of saying sorry for talking so much, say thank you for listening. The message changes radically and you stop putting yourself down. Now let's move on to number 7. A simple K can send you spiraling. If they take a while to reply or are brief, your mind conjures up a horror story, thinking they're about to leave you. It's not drama, it's sensitivity. If affection used to come with silence or punishment, your brain has trained itself to read micro-signals as life-threatening situations. A period instead of an exclamation mark feels like abandonment. A delayed response feels like rejection. You're not overreacting. You're just reading a language most people don't even know exists. You reread the chat looking for mistakes because you interpret neutral messages as imminent danger. That's why you get socially exhausted. You're not chatting, you're scanning for danger. A simple tool is to ask for clarification instead of guessing intentions. Right, hey, you seem serious. Is everything okay? Clarity is more calming than 1,000 conspiracy theories in your head. Let's move on to number 6. You cut people out of your life with the precision of a surgeon, and you are judged for it. You read people like most people read books, instantly spotting plot holes, inconsistencies, foreshadowing of betrayal. And your mind says, I've seen this before. Out. Inconsistencies, empty promises, disguised jealousy, people who confuse and then blame. To others, you're exaggerating. To you, it's prevention, because your brain has learned to recognize patterns of pain in order to survive. You prefer a few close friends, but they're safe. Remember that setting boundaries isn't being cold, it's knowing how to protect yourself. Just be careful. Sometimes a boundary is a trigger for the past. You always ask yourself, is this a real red flag? Or am I reliving an old story in my head? That question gives you back your power. If you're nodding along to these, hit that like button. Not for me, for everyone else who needs to know they're not broken, just battle-tested. Let's continue. Number 5 is one of the hardest to admit. It's incredibly difficult to ask for help, even when you're drowning. You prefer to carry everything yourself. If someone offers you support, your gut instinct is to reject it, because you learned that depending on others was dangerous. You become self-sufficient by force, but self-sufficiency born from fear isn't strength. It's a prison disguised as independence. You're also uncomfortable accepting favors because you feel like you're incurring a debt that will later be collected. So it's not that you don't want help, it's that you don't trust it to be genuine. Start with something small. Don't ask them to solve your life for you. Ask for something specific like, can you help me with this? This way, your brain relearns that relying on others doesn't always end in tragedy. Let's move on to number 4. You disconnect from the world in automatic mode. You've probably experienced this. You're in the middle of a conversation, someone speaks to you and you respond, nod and smile, but inside your mind has wandered miles away. Or worse, after an emotionally intense event, you simply feel nothing, as if someone flipped the main switch in your house. This is very similar to the biological freeze response. It's your brain's emergency shutdown sequence. When your brain perceives that fighting is futile and fleeing is impossible, it decides to protect itself by disconnecting from reality. It's not that you're weak or distracted. It's a crude defense mechanism to prevent pain from destroying you. The problem is that if this becomes a habit, you start living life in airplane mode. You work, you fulfill obligations, and you exist, but you're not present. You stare into space. Someone asks if you're okay. You don't even remember them asking. You were there, but you weren't there. A sensory trick to reconnect with your body is the anchoring technique. Look at 5 things around you, touch 4 textures, listen to 3 sounds, smell 2 aromas, and taste something. You won't magically heal, but you'll land in the present in seconds. Well, let's move on to number 3. You use humor when you're falling apart inside. You laugh at inappropriate times, make dark or crude jokes, and poke fun at yourself before others do. Many people think this is insensitive or disrespectful, but often it's a necessary outlet. Humor is a brilliant way to regain control. And if I can laugh at this, then I can breathe and it won't destroy me. Your mind uses comedy to give a manageable form to what hurts too much, without drowning in it. Furthermore, laughter is a defiant way of saying, I'm still standing. That's why some people crack a joke in the middle of a funeral or a crisis and then feel guilty. Don't blame yourself. It's a very sophisticated survival mechanism. Just be mindful of the context. Use humor as a bridge to connect with others, not as a wall to hide your pain. And with the right person, you can even be honest and say, I laugh because if I don't, I'll break down. That's courage, not coldness. Let's move on to number 2, and this trait often confuses everyone in your work or family environment. When faced with a problem, you become a problem-solving machine. If a serious emergency arises, you don't break down, you spring into action. On the outside, you appear strong, but on the inside, you're in firefighting mode. Your body has learned to function on pure adrenaline. Instead of feeling, you execute and control. The problem is that your mind prioritizes survival first and processing later. That's why when everything calms down, you get sick or collapse, as if your body were saying, now I can finally let go. Try this advice. After a crisis, give yourself 5 minutes to unwind. It's not laziness, it's necessary emotional hygiene. And finally, number 1, the most revealing of all. You're fine in theory, but your body is screaming that you're not. Clenched jaw, tense shoulders, a weariness that sleep won't relieve. You even wake up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart for no apparent reason. Your mind says, it's over now, but your nervous system is still waiting for the next blow. That's why calm makes you uncomfortable. Your body still doesn't recognize peace as safe. And here's the key idea. It's not about thinking positively. It's about teaching your body safety through repeated signals. Slow breathing or walking tells your brain, now we're safe. If this is overwhelming you, seeking professional help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of emotional intelligence. Tell me, how many of these signs do you identify with? Leave the exact numbers in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you want a second part where we reveal even more uncomfortable and real habits of human psychology, write part 2 right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more eye-opening content. See you next time. Hang in there.